Hey there! I saw a post recently about Southwest changing its seating policy for plus-size passengers. And it got me thinking, what is the policy for plus-size passengers? Are there actual policies or are they more like guidelines? Are the policies the same across all the major airlines? As a smaller-sized adult, I've never considered what a plus-size passenger experiences when flying. So I thought I would look into it and share the facts. Let's dive in. In early 2026, Southwest Airlines will officially change how it handles plus-size passengers. But they're not alone. Every major airline has its own policy, and not all of them are easy to find or understand. Today, I'll break it all down. What triggers a two-seat assignment, who pays, and what your rights are. No shame, no assumptions, just clarity. When it comes to needing an extra seat, most airlines don't mention weight. Instead, the key guidelines are about space and safety. Here's what they usually look for. Can you lower both armrests while seated? Can you fasten your seatbelt with one standard extender or none at all? Can you remain within your seat boundaries without significantly encroaching on your neighbor's seat? These aren't cosmetic rules. They're based on FAA safety guidelines, especially for things like aisle access and emergency evacuations. Some airlines are more strict than others, and not all of them publish the rules clearly. But when they do, this is usually what they mean by requiring additional seating. So before we dive into individual airline policies, it helps to know this isn't about a number on a scale. It's about how a passenger fits safely and comfortably in the space provided. So how do major airlines actually handle this? We check their websites, customer policies, and real traveler experiences. Here's what you need to know. Airline by airline. Southwest's current policy allows passengers who need more than one seat to request an extra seat for free, and in many cases, receive a refund after the flight. But starting January 2026, that's changing. Under the new policy, passengers who can't lower their armrests or fasten their seatbelt with one extender must purchase a second seat at the time of booking. Refunds are only available if the flight isn't full, both seats are in the same fare class, and a refund is requested within 90 days of travel. United Airlines has a strict policy. If you can't sit with the armrests down and safely fasten the seatbelt with one extender, you're required to book an additional seat in advance. If you don't and the flight is full, you may be denied boarding or asked to wait for a later flight with available seating. Refunds for extra seats? Not offered. American's policy isn't very visible on their website, but it aligns closely with United. They recommend booking an extra seat if you need more space. If you don't, and you can't remain within your seat boundary, you may be asked to purchase another seat at the airport. If no seat is available, you might not be allowed to board. Refunds are not guaranteed. Delta doesn't publish a formal customer of size policy, but in practice the rules are similar. If a passenger significantly encroaches the space of another, or cannot fasten the seatbelt safely, they're encouraged to purchase an extra seat. If that seat isn't purchased in advance and the flight is full, they may be denied boarding or required to wait. Alaska Airlines is one of the only carriers that does offer a refund for passengers who book a second seat, if there's space on the flight both ways. However, you must purchase both seats in advance and request the refund after you travel. Low-cost carriers like Spirit and Frontier follow a strict one seat per passenger rule. If you don't fit within one seat and didn't purchase a second seat in advance, you may be denied boarding. Refunds? Not available. JetBlue has no clearly defined policy online, but enforcement may vary depending on the crew and gate agent. As you can see, most airlines expect passengers to self-assess, and policies vary from flexible to firm. Coming up next, I'll share a bit of personal perspective and what I think the real takeaway is for travelers of all sizes. I'll be honest, this isn't the easiest topic to cover. Airline policies around size and space bring up strong opinions, and a lot of emotion too. I've traveled with family, friends, and complete strangers in cramped seats, and I've seen how awkward or uncomfortable it can get for everyone involved. But I also know most people aren't trying to be disrespectful. They just want to know what the rules are. and how to avoid surprises when they travel. I'm not here to take sides. I just want to help people plan better, feel more prepared, and hopefully feel a little less apprehensive about getting on that plane and getting to their dream destination. At the end of the day, travel should be accessible and clear. No one likes to be surprised at the gate or feel embarrassed in a public space. And while every airline has its own rules, the common thread is this. If you think you might need extra space, it's always better to know your options ahead of time. I'm not here to say what's right or wrong, but I am here to say that travelers deserve honesty, respect, and information they can actually use. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more practical, no-fluff travel advice and respectful conversations around the stuff most people avoid talking about. Drop a comment below. Have you ever dealt with airline seating challenges? Do you think these policies are fair? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. I'm Kelly, your trusted vacation agent, wishing you safe travels.